What is going on, tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes with me, your boy Scribe. How the devil are we doing? We've made it a Friday, the weekend is here, but there's no Galactically Challenged. I am the only Galactic Challenge you'll experience today. So I wanted to take a little bit of a moment here and talk to you guys about the Gungan Faction and how it's actually pretty damn good. I know since their datacron has disappeared, perhaps some people are thinking that maybe their viability has dropped a little, but I think people are missing out on a bit of a trick here. The Gungans themselves obviously have got great viability in the Battle for Naboo raid, and the fact that we have seen some updates to the way the Naboo raid is working, and the fact that we're not getting any information about any new raids that are coming, nothing to do with the Bad Batch, nothing to do with the Peridia Patrol faction, nothing to do with GL Ahsoka Tano, we can probably make a safe assumption, an educated guess, if you will, as that we're not going to be getting any sort of new raid for the foreseeable future. It could be another 6 months, it could be another a year. I really don't want to be doing the Naboo raid for that long. So all I'm trying to tell you guys is you still have the moment right now to invest in your Gungans in order to get some good rewards, both in PvP game modes and in the raid itself. And the real cherry on the top is you don't need Jar Jar. Isn't that wonderful? If we were to mosey on over to GAC Insights on swigger.gg and just put in, how does Boss Nass hold on defense in 3v3 in particular? We just came to the end of a championship for 3v3, so let's review. How is their hold percentage in 3v3 this last run? 7.27%. Whilst not god-awful, it's also not actually very good. So I guess you're probably wondering why, Scribe, am I saying that this is still a good team to invest in, and that's because they are actually quite viable, offensively speaking, and typically on defense there are two very well-known, very available and solid counters, mostly in Traya. Traya completely dominates and destroys Gungan teams. It's not even, a contest there. They just absolutely roll over the Gungans. You just isolate the phalanx, you focus down on the shield generator, and that is game over. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. And then there is also the Bo-Katan Mandalore team outside of Galactic Legend teams. These two legendary teams just kind of dominate against the Gungans in general. Now granted, Bo-Katan Mandalore has only been out for about a year. She's only just gone fully farmable in the journey guide so that you can access it at any time. You're not waiting for that monthly event to come around. So perhaps not everybody's going to have Bo-Katan Mandalore, but it was a very easy and guaranteed win. Now the reason this is a good thing is if it's pulling things like Traya and if it's pulling things like Bo-Katan Mandalore, those are two very strong, highly valuable offensive meta characters. Okay, those are good teams to be pulling over for it's only Gungans, am I right? And they can still hold against other things. However, where I want to really focus on it is the Gungans' capabilities, offensively speaking. And just take a look at some of the teams that we can effectively beat with the Gungans. Now, of course, you look at something like the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron leadership over here with Jedi Knight Anakin and Cam. Quite a scary team on defense sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, and the win rate here is 99.8% chance. So it's a highly reliable way of actually tackling that particular team. Granted, this is using Jar Jar Binks, but if I actually go into the secondary here and I say exclude Jar Jar Binks, let's see how that changes some of these metrics over here. Now you can see it still has a 99% win ratio against that particular team because they're able to tank all that damage. But it's this one here that really catches my eye. Against Reva, it has got an 80.84% win ratio. That's against Reva, not only standard Reva, but Revas that are going to be using the Grand Inquisitor's datacron. And this datacron is absolutely flicking nuts. It's really powerful. Reva, a triple Omicron, Relic 9'd, out the wazoo, gets absolutely steamrolled by no Omicrons, no legendary characters, not even a dedicated datacron that really effectively boosts it, and it walks it over for 57 banners. That's sweet. This is me just last week, I believe, taking on a Relic 8 Reva here. She's got one of her Omicrons. She's got Grand Inquisitor Cron. There is the Seventh Sister as well. This is like a strong and powerful team. And even though the opener is kind of scary because they focus down that shield generator pretty quick, and we're not using the tank, we're using Tarpals and Boomadeer together, this can prevent revives and also helps us avoid the taunt from Reva quite effectively as well. But you see, once you take your first turn, it actually becomes a bit of a doddle. We don't care that Reaver is passing out Deathmark. Deathmark just means we don't need a tank. Also, it does nothing to the Gungans. Deathmark does damage based on percentile health, and Gungans have a wonderful ability that at the start of battle they convert 75% of their health into additional protection, which means lots of protection but very, very little health. So when we get hit by Deathmark, it does nothing. It's beautiful. And we can see that it's not just a fluke. Here's Relic 9 Reaver with Relic 8 Grand Inquisitor, Relic 8 on 7th Sister, and the dedicated Datacron on the Grand Inquisitor, going in once again. No Phalanx, no Jar Jar, no Omicrons active, no dedicated Datacron. Obviously, we're still using a Datacron. If you've got one, use one with percentile health damage on the level 3. That's the most ideal one in my experience. And we're still able to beat this with great consistency and decent banners. You see, they immediately put out that Deathmark on our characters, which just means they are forced into attacking that character and they can't do anything against it. All this damage coming out from these AoEs quickly wipes through the enemy, and at this point you just put it on full auto. It's a battle that takes about a minute against Reaver, and she's such a phenomenally fantastic team that it's just great to see how well and easy this does, no matter what sort of level of investment is in the Inquisitorius faction. If that's not a reason to help you go ahead and get the Gungans and go ahead and start using them on offense, then I don't know what is, honestly speaking. And when it comes down to just Reaver, there's literally nothing that she can do. You can get a lucky call to assist and, defeat her with either Boomadeer or Tarpals. And if you've got that Zeta on Boomadeer, that means no revives. I don't think I got it in this run. But look, she can barely touch that shield generator anymore. We're just regenning stacks of it now. Eventually she does go down and bam, 57. Full banners, baby, all day, every day. And that's all I really want to talk to you about today, guys. I know this is one of my typical videos, but I just thought I would help share some knowledge over here and shine a light on a faction that would perhaps otherwise be a little bit forgotten about at this point. Maybe people have moved on to, other things, greater things, GL Ahsoka Tano, Balin. There's still some real gems from the last year that people should really give some due attention to. And like I said, it looks like, or all things seem to be pointing towards, this Battle for Naboo raid hanging around at least for another 6 months. We've heard nothing about a new raid. The current setup that they're developing does not seem to be pointing towards a new raid, so who knows how long it's going to be. Invest in your raid characters, get those raid rewards. You will be grateful for it. Believe me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you could quickly hit that like button and give me a comment down below. Your favorite emoji. It doesn't have to be War and Peace, guys. Just whatever you feel like saying. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.